Hey guys, it's me. This is my third installment. I just wanted to show you this thing. After a couple of months of wear and tear, it still looks good and it still is playable. And it's holding up to all the real ball strikes. You know, those hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of swings, misses, fouls, draws, fades, you name it. But anyway, what I thought I would do would just be um, go through another couple of hits. This time, hopefully I'm not going to be as slow and annoying and fidgety as the one commenter says. It's like you play a game and then you fidget, and then you play the game and you fidget. Well, you know that's the way it goes. So I'm playing the Yellowstone course. Really nice 3D model. Just for your information, this is my kind of like garage golf setup. Got a nice 9 foot by 10 foot, or actually a 9 foot by 11 foot screen for the 1080p, and then well, I'm sorry, not 1080p, but for standard definition. But I went ahead and threw an extra sheet down because I would occasionally hit a ball over there and it would fly into the back of the room. But I have a thing on a diagonal too across my rafters, mainly because of the space. So if you're space constricted in your garage, you may think about like running your screen diagonally, and maybe you get some space to have a swing. And actually, I'm very close the to the wall back here. So there's a lot of club mark strikes on around here where guys got to learn somehow. Anyway, projector is like a Darby 1080p GT. It's the Optima GT 1080p Darby. And the Darby is supposed to be like the special effect they do for color games and stuff. And it seems to work. So we are ready to play. Just going to take a swing at this. I've got boost at 17. And unfortunately, we get our first misread. So that's what you're going to get occasionally with this stuff. So, 508 yards. I recommend increasing your mulligan counts very highly. Okay. Well, that was a terrible hit. But we got a pretty good strike. You can kind of see where he's heading to, right into the woods. Not a good place to land. But that's the way, life sometimes hands you one of these deals. Once you're in these woods, they're almost impossible to get out of. So I recommend just, doing something like that. Actually, one of the things is I had the sensitivity turned up really high, which could be part of the deal. And actually, I think let's just do this all over again because it just really did not tickle me at all. So I'm going to say, yeah, let's leave it around. We're back here in the woods again. That always takes a little bit to do. So anyway, so let's start off again. New round, boost 17%. I'm going to log in as guest. Right hand. I'm going off the champ tees like I'm really that good. Oops, I already didn't mean to add one. And then let's just do Yellowstone again because that's a hit course. Let's just go start. And I've already got the presets on
The distance to the pin is 510 yards.
Game settings for E6 to play slow greens. One of the things we found out about that boost signal is that it doesn't affect just your drivers or your long clubs. It affects everything equally, including your putter. And so when you put a 17% boost on your clubs, trying to make them equalize what a normal golf swing would look like, you always have fun when you get on the greens. So as a compensation, I've got the green set to slow speed, and that actually seems to work out pretty well. So let's try this again.
Ready.
There we go. Hit the edge of the green. Not exactly where I was trying to go to, but yeah, 254 actually is starting to be my my common value. I hit that on OptiShot. I hit that with R motion. So with the boost at 17%, it seems to be perfect for me in the driver. Now apparently how the E6 software works in conjunction with this is that they have a standard club head or club length, and so every club is estimated to fall within a certain range, and so you wind up with this kind of sort of plateau on your irons where they all are affected by that boost by about 17%, and it seems to actually work okay, except I noticed like on 5 irons and things like that, on those high end clubs, so you can sometimes hit like a 200-yard 5 iron shot, which for me is, man, that would be rare. Just saying, I could maybe hit a 180-yard 5, but 200 yards pretty much out of the picture. Well, anyway, we're back here in the woods, so I'm just going to try and ditch you out of this thing with, well, they're calling for a 3-wood. So I'm just going to follow the advice on this guy. Unlike our motion, you don't have old John sitting there talking at you, so so you kind of have to, and he doesn't pick out the weird clubs like
Ready.
this guy does, but. Okay, good. We got it through the trees, it looks like. All right. Okay, so yeah, still hitting it with a little bit of a draw, man. So I don't know about the draw part. You know, my normal swing on a typical day is I tend to fade actually, but. Okay, but here we are, and now it's kind of calling for a sand wedge, which is a lot of fun in a low ceiling garage like this. So just be aware of that. I do have the tops of everything sort of cleaned out, but if I don't, the mat I have is actually one of these really thick ones. So you know, supposedly you can stand well, you can put a tee and it'll hold the ball and everything. So but it takes the impact of a sand wedge if you swing it like that. So into the sand. So we're on what? This is a par 5. So
26 yards.
So I think we may actually be able to get her up there. Shot 4. So it's going to go to a lob wedge. So it actually likes to do lob wedges over sand wedges. So just be aware that it wants you to have 2 wedges instead of 1 for the most part. But that's E6.
Ready.
Okay, here we go. Oh man, I really hit that too hard. Okay.
The distance to the pin is 25 feet.
Okay, and it's going to lob wedge me on 25 feet. Okay, I'm probably off the green. That's kind of a shame.
Ready.
Kind of hit it a little too hard, but. Okay, now this is one of these things that affects most of these type of sensors, is that on the lob wedges and things like that, they need to impact it. It has to register a good. You have to put a little more swing into it than what you would typically do. So,
Ready.
and let's begin. So, all right, it may be that I'm just jumping the gun. As you know, this thing kind of vibrates. So,
Ready.
wow, that's really too hard. But at least I'm on the green, so we can putt out.
The distance to the pin is 10 yards.
Now, see, that's one of those holes right here that's kind of just frustrating because, you know, it's not your fault. It is the device. It's the limitations of the device in the game. So, or at least this device. You know, as you know, the Tittle is really not designed to use real balls. They've designed all the software to basically use empty swings or even foam balls for that matter. If you like doing that without an impact, I think you know you'll probably be happy with it very, very nicely. If you're actually out to do a real simulation stuff, you're going to have to play the booth. That's the only way around it, I see. Otherwise, you get frustrated with 100-yard drives. Okay, now here's a peculiar thing. I was just noticing this since I'm standing in front of it. You can see the pin. The pin is a little bit off to the right. Now, here's an interesting trick that I learned. You aim. Make sure that your launch pad and all that is aimed at your strength. You know that you have a good alignment, so that you can kind of what is actually perfectly square with your screen. So you do that, and you aim at the hole.
Ready.
Until it buzzes like that, and when it buzzes, then when you take your shot, straighten it out to go with the line. And what that should do is that'll hit down the line and start curving over towards the hole. And it's a kind of a slick little maneuver, and it works very well. In fact, if you get used to it and you get really good at it, you may want to try it out on the golf course. It's kind of a, most people you say you want to swing it just like a pendulum, but in this case you're aiming ahead of time, zeroing out the opti shot, and then straightening it out on your downswing on the putt. So.
Ready.
Yeah, I did it a little too hard actually. So, this is the kind of thing I was saying where the boost can actually mess you up. But okay, now we're in good shape. So,
ready.
This should be just dead end. Okay. Anyway, what you saw there was just kind of a light hit, and it jumped the thing. I meant the boost has taken over and added 17% to my swing, so it adds to that. However, I've tried all the time. I've got a nice little putting green right down in the front here, and so if they say it's like in this case 7.8 feet, I can back this thing up to about 7.8 feet and shoot for the cup.
Ready.
And it should match it, but it didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't go this here. So let's try that again. So my green's over here. Gonna try to do this again.
Ready.
Okay. Well, I made it down
The
here.
distance to the pin is 0 feet.
Okay, this is the fun part, is when it's so slow and you actually have like 8 inches or so. I'll say 0 feet. It's really goofy. But that's that's E6 software. That's not Tittle or anything.
Ready.
Okay, got it in the hole. So that was round one.
Distance to the pin is 480
And you get the gist of it. Basically, let me just add this: that if you already have like an R motion or something like this, you want to add this to your collection. It's a nice alternative. It's not really that expensive. I mean, they're selling it about 160, 170 bucks now over on eBay. Almost about 190, I think, on Amazon. But that's according to the last time I looked. So, not trying to drop names or anything, but you know, it occasionally happens. You just drop stuff. Anyhow, it's a good thing to have. You know, you have to know the limitations. You're gonna have to, you know, divvy up with divvy up and make yourself some of those clips like that to really make it usable on a full screen. But it doesn't really take that much time. You know, just look at some of the early videos on how to do it. And if you're curious, by the way, and you own an R motion, and you don't want to buy those clips of theirs. You can do the same thing with this, but just put a couple of slices on the very end here to open this up and pull it down a little tighter, and that R motion will just drop right in there and hold it just like it does this Tittle. So, which actually works very well and is very fast, and it's better than most clips I've seen. So, I mean, it's functionality-wise, just if I do say so myself. But anyway, so that's the deal now. Just last warning to all you guys that think that you can get away with this, but if you use their clips, and unfortunately, I don't know if you're going to see this or not, but this is one of the Tittle chips clips that you have that they send you. This one. Unfortunately, on a couple of swings, I don't know if we can get this in here or not. We're going to show this. Yeah, there. You see those two little green thingies that just happen to be little plastic pieces off of this clip? That's what comes off. And once it's done, there's no way to get back on. So, I mean, you can glue your Tittle to it, but that's kind of dumb. Great device. This is not as good of a device. It's you know, it works, and it would be great. It'd be great if you could carry this out on the field, because you know, out on a real course. I think if you've looked at the latest R motion, they're trying to build an app right now that you could take to the golf course with your R motion, and it'll record your swing speeds and directions and all those kind of things. So I hope they do well on it. I always liked R motion, but I'll be honest, I like the E6 software much better than TGC. It just has so much more depth. It's so much brighter. It's not obscure, and the other thing too is I can get a nice, you know, TrackMan type trail on my ball flight, whereas if you know, I'm playing with the R motion, well, I can't. It's really hard to find a TrackMan type trailing on. In fact, I haven't been able to find it, but I've come close with some smoky trails. So anyway, on those little happy tips, you know, this is it's like I said, I've been playing this a while. I think I'm going to enjoy a couple of rounds of this where I watch, you know, the BMW tournament on the telly, and you know, like I'm over in Britain, we call our televisions here, we call them tellies. But of course I'm not in Britain, but You know, nothing wrong with that. They have great golf courses up there. Just, you know, a lot of sink traps that are very deep. Anyhow, a kid. So that's kind of where I'm. What the update is on that. So like, you know, the real ball impacts are not going to affect your Tittle device, but they will break those clips if you're not careful. So, all right, we appreciate it. Y'all have fun.